One man is being victimized by our own government. One man whom they fear, yet whom millions love. One man who is willing to take the poison arrows of lawfare. One man whose voice has been taken away by a corrupt judge operating in a corrupt system. One man who has been ridiculed and insulted. One man who refused to back down. One man who refused to back down. One man who refused to back down. One man who stands between us and them. One man that wants to see America protected again. One man who wants to see America prosper again. One man who understands that a man is a man and a woman is a woman. One man who understands and protects the blessing of life. One man who wants to restore American exceptionalism. One man who once again wants to make America that shining city on a hill for all to see. A place where all the people of the world glowingly set their eyes upon. America. One man who unashamedly wants to make America great again. That one man is Donald Trump.
This is Fanfare with Barry Cunningham.
Like, there was a lot of attention on Twitter during the election because of the Hunter Biden laptop story. The New York Post.
Had that too.
Yeah, so you guys censored that as well?
So we took a different path than Twitter. Basically the background here is the FBI, I think, basically came to us, some folks on our team, and was like, hey, just so you know, like, you should be on high alert. We thought that there was a lot of Russian propaganda in the 2016 election. We have it on notice that basically there's about to be some kind of dump of that's similar to that. So just be vigilant. So our protocol is different from Twitter's. What Twitter did is they said you can't share this at all. We didn't do that. What we do is we have, if something is reported to us as potentially misinformation, important misinformation, we also have this third-party fact-checking program because we don't want to be deciding what's true and false. And for I think it was 5 or 7 days when it was basically being determined whether it was false, the distribution on Facebook was decreased, but people were still allowed to share it. So you could still share it, you could still consume it.
So when you say the distribution is decreased,
it got shared.
How does that work?
It basically, the ranking in newsfeed was a little bit less. So fewer people saw it than would have otherwise. So it definitely...
By what percentage?
I don't know off the top of my head, but it's meaningful. But basically a lot of people were still able to share it. We got a lot of complaints that was the case. Obviously this is a hyper-political issue, so depending on what side of the political spectrum, you either think we didn't censor it enough or censored it way too much.
I want to know what side of the political spectrum somebody has to be on to want the truth. Because it seems at this point that the side of truth is definitely with you people, you deplorables, you weirdos. It seems as though the people on the left don't care about the truth, that it's some sort of, crazy concept. Doesn't really matter anymore. What matters is winning. We just need to do anything to make sure the orange man doesn't get back into the White House. And that was the last election. That was the one they actually did it. And that interview he did, Mark Zuckerberg did with Joe Rogan, was basically the precursor to what happened yesterday. So in case you weren't aware, haven't seen the news, didn't see what has happened, shit's blowed up. It's blowed up everywhere. At this point, we have, let me go ahead and pull this up for you. The House Judiciary Committee says that Mark Zuckerberg just admitted these three things. Those three things being that the Biden-Harris administration pressured Facebook to censor Americans. That Facebook did indeed censor Americans. And that Facebook throttled the Hunter Biden laptop story. And it's a big win for free speech. If you're like me, you're probably thinking to yourself, hey, Big Jim Jordan, I'm tired of these empty wins. I'm tired of this stuff happening 4 years after the fact, 4 or 5 years. I'm tired of you guys basically glad-handing each other and saying, oh, well, we've shown them this time. We really got them. Meanwhile, what do all of us do? What does every single God-fearing, true American do at this point when we've had our country completely ripped away from us? And yet it's still happening today. My video yesterday, when I talked about the commander-in-chief, the guys upstairs had some problem with that. Like, well, we don't know if we want people to hear what you had to say in that regard. And so, I'm still talking to them about getting certain stuff released. I don't get it anymore how both sides, not just the Democrats, they couldn't get away with this unless both sides basically nodded and went along with it. Yeah, you have the fancy hearings. Yeah, I see you on C-SPAN talking your crap and, everything that you're going to do, you're going to get to the bottom of this. And you couldn't get to the bottom of this for God knows how long. And then yesterday, this thing came up, let me just make sure, at 6:45 p.m. Yesterday, Mark Zuckerberg, or at least at this point, the House committee decides they're going to drop this letter. So I'm going to let you guys see this letter. I had to break it up into 3 different components so I could blow it up and make sure everybody could see. So we're going to look at page 1 first. Page 1. This is Mark Zuckerberg's letter to Congress, August 26th. So it was yesterday he sent this letter out. I appreciate the committee's interest in content moderation on online platforms. As you are aware, Meta/Facebook has produced thousands of documents as a part of your investigation and made a dozen employees available for transcribed interviews. Further, to our cooperation with your investigation, I welcome the opportunity to share what I've taken away from this process. Now we're going to get to the good stuff. The stuff that's probably going to, piss you off. Because this is the stuff that when I started reading, I'm like, oh my God. There's a lot of talk right now around how the U.S. government interacts with companies like Meta, like Facebook, Instagram. And I want to be clear about our position. Our platforms are for everyone. We're about promoting speech and helping people connect in a safe and secure way. As a part of this, we regularly hear from governments around the world and others with various concerns around public discourse and public safety. Now comes the good part. In 2021, senior officials from the Biden administration, including the White House, repeatedly pressured our teams for months to censor certain you-know-what content. You guys can read along there because here it is in 2024 and we're still not allowed to say the word that's printed on that document. So this stuff is still going on. Here and other places, you're still not allowed to discuss this stuff. Including, we also had to suppress humor and satire, i.e. what they mean by that is memes, and expressed a lot of frustration with our teams when we didn't agree. So the White House was expressing lots of frustration. Hey guys, we don't need to suppress this. Oh yeah, you do. Okay. And they did. Ultimately, it was our decision whether or not to take content down. And we own our own decisions, including those related to, the jab. Changes we made to our enforcement in the wake of this pressure. Quote, now here's where it gets really good. I believe the government pressure was wrong, and I regret that we were not more outspoken about it. Let me stop there for a second. Now, on August 26th, yesterday, now you're letting everybody know, yeah, I think the government was wrong in what they did. Dude, did you not see what transpired from the time that the election was going through back in 2020? And then how all of us, to this day, I can't get on Facebook. You can go and search my profile, and there I am with my happy face, but I can't get on Facebook. They don't want me there. Go away. So even though you've had this grand revelation to yourself, there are thousands, maybe tens of thousands of people who can't even still go on Facebook because we made the mistake of, oh my God, saying something contrary to what the government wanted you to hear. You didn't want us to have these platforms. I had a Facebook platform with over 1 million followers. It was friggin' huge. It was about Trump. And now that's just floating in the ether. I can't even access it. If I went and put my name and password in and I go away, you can never come back here ever again. This letter doesn't say anything about all of us who've been deported unceremoniously from Facebook, who've been told, shoo, we don't want you here. You don't play well with others. What others? The others who want somebody other than Trump. Oh, those others. Go away. Never come back ever again. You can search my name. It's still there. That's my personal profile. My fan page that I had, that's gone. Like it never even happened. And now, on August 26, 2024, you decide to have a mea culpa and tell everybody, yeah, it was bad. The government should have made us do it. It was our decision. Bullcrap. They told you, do this or else. And still to this day, it's still happening. You may feel bad about it, but it's still happening. So let me continue here. And I'm right here. I also think we made some choices that with the benefit of hindsight and new information, we wouldn't make those mistakes today. I'm pretty sure I just told you that I'm still banned. So that mistake, if you want to call it that, mistake is something that's inordinate. It wasn't supposed to happen. You intentionally, there was no mistake, you intentionally banned tens of thousands of people and said never come back here and never talk about this stuff ever again. You did it with full knowledge. It was intentional. It wasn't like somebody hit the wrong keystroke and, oh, there goes Barry's page. Oh, made a mistake. It wasn't a mistake. You had a list, a hit list, that you went down and said, okay, this one's got to go. Oh, that one's definitely got to go. Oh, this Barry Cunningham guy. Why did we wait so long? He's definitely got to go. And others, and others, and others, and others. So it wasn't a mistake. Stop calling it. Stop euphemizing. Stop pretending like it was a mistake. It wasn't supposed to happen. It was intentional. At least be a man and stand up and go, yeah, we booted a whole bunch of people because the government put pressure on us. Be a man. I mean, that's the worst part about it. Anyways, we continue here. It says, like I said to our teams at the time, so you told these people years ago, I feel strongly that we should not compromise our content standards due to pressure from any administration in either direction. And we're ready to push back if something like this happens again. Oh, really? It's happening. You're not pushing back. You're trying to save your ass at this point. You're trying to figure out, how am I not going to get caught up in this because it looks like Trump's going to be the next president. And if Trump comes back on his retribution tour, which it looks like, and it's deserved, how do I fix this? How do I make it right with Donald Trump? Okay, well, Trump's going to get to run as many ads as he wants now. He can do whatever he wants on Facebook. Is that what you're saying? Is that what Mark Zuckerberg is saying to Donald Trump and his administration, his camp at this point? Can RFK get on there and start talking about make America healthy again and talk about all the things that he knows? Really, it's not going to ever happen again? Or maybe it's because there is no administration. Between now and January 2025, we have no idea who's running the country. It doesn't seem to be Dementia Joe, and Cackles can't be doing it, so who knows who's in charge? And maybe it's like, you know what, we're not going to do it, and we're not going to let any administration ever do this again because there is no administration. Maybe that's why he did it. To continue here, in a separate situation, okay, down to that last paragraph, the FBI warned us about potential, and just so you know, I can't even say this. They warned us about potential disinformation about the Biden family and Burisma in the lead up to the 2020 election. I want to stop there for a second. Just to let you know something. He wrote that, and a lot of people missed it. Let me reread that. In a separate situation, the FBI warned us about a potential disinformation operation about the Biden family and Burisma in the lead up to the 2020 election. Meaning it was before the 2020 election. So what he just said there was a bunch of people, in my estimation, committed treason. The lead up to the 2020 election means that Trump was the president. He was still the president, and what he just wrote is that the FBI came to him surreptitiously without Trump knowing and said, hey, just want to let you know all this stuff about Burisma and Biden's about to come out. You might want to hush that up. Now you understand what actually happened here? That's in one line of that letter, which, by the way, Fox did. I'm going to show you something from Fox, but the other networks didn't even cover that. That one paragraph right there, let me put that back up so you guys can see it yourself. In a separate situation, the FBI warned us, the FBI, who at that point was working under the Trump administration, warned us about a potential disinformation operation about the Biden family and Burisma in the lead up to the 2020 election. So Trump's FBI, Trump's Department of Justice, decided they were the ones who were going to go to Facebook and go, shh, don't mention this. Anybody talks about this laptop thing, including, the orange man himself, ixnay. It's not real. Talk about subterfuge. I think so many people missed that sentence. That sentence in its entire, it makes that entire letter evidence, in my mind, of treason. People were executing subterfuge, surreptitiously undermining the Trump campaign while he was president. Now we have no doubt. Every single one of you weird deplorables can now say, I was right. This guy just admitted it. The guys up here, they haven't admitted it yet. We know what happened on Twitter, so 2/3 of the big three, Twitter, Facebook, /Instagram, have now been found out to be working against Trump's re-election. What's that mean to you? Well, I'll tell you what it means to me. It means treason. That fall, prior to, the election, when we saw a New York Post story reporting on corruption allegations involving the then presidential nominee, Joe Biden's family, we sent that story to the fact checkers for review. But gotta stop. Who? Who are these fact checkers? Who did you hire to fact check what the FBI told you? You see, you for some reason, the FBI told you this story was coming out. Wink, wink. Hey, it's coming. Be careful. This story's coming. All right. Well, we'll be careful. And then when the story hits, you send that information to a fact checker who says, yup, it's disinformation, all right. Yep, can't put that out there because it would help Trump and hurt Joe. Well, who are these fact checkers? Because we need to know their names as well. Jim Jordan, best get on that. That sentence right there tells you all you need to know. Let's continue. We sent that story to fact checkers for review and temporarily demoted it while waiting for a reply. Oh, wait a second there. So you do have the ability to, quote, shadow ban, i.e. demote content. I'm sorry. I thought you told the world that couldn't possibly happen. There's no such thing as shadow banning. There's no switch that we can go, oh, kill that. Oh, I mean, we know you could delete stuff, but you told us there was no such thing as shadow banning. You told the world that many, many times. We don't have the ability to basically suppress stuff. So you used a different word. You used the word demote. Demoted the content. It has since been made clear that the reporting was not disinformation, and in retrospect, we shouldn't have /demoted /shadow banned the story. We've changed our policies and processes to make sure this doesn't happen again. For instance, we no longer temporarily demote things in the United States while waiting for the fact checkers. So right now, all of you can begin, go ahead and put up stories about what has happened to people you know who took the jab, and you can talk about the laptop and test it. Go ahead. See what happens. Maybe not, because I don't want to be responsible for having your stuff booted off of Facebook. I know a lot of you still talk to your family on Facebook that way. But here's a question. How do we know what gets demoted or shadow banned? It's not like we get a letter go, hey, you know what? We don't like what you posted, and so we're just going to not show it to everybody. Okay? You, your mom, and sister are about the only people who are ever going to see that last post that you put up. Nope, not going to get any notice. How do we know? We no longer temporarily demote things. Oh, okay, temporarily. You probably just do it. Permanently. Done. How do we ever know? None of us have access to their algorithm and code. How would we know if Mark Zuckerberg's Legion of Doom over there decides what is and what can't be shown to people? Should I get a little cat and have the cat sit there and paw? Oh, it's so cute. By the way, as the cat's doing this, let me tell you a story. They did this. We have no idea. We have no idea how these algorithms actually work. Let's continue as he closes here. The idea here, what they were trying to do, was to make sure local election jurisdictions across the country had the resources they needed to help people vote safely during a global you-know-what. Because I can't say that word. I made those contributions through the Zuckerberg initiatives. Now he's talking about all that money he put in for, the boxes. He was trying to help out. That's all I was doing. I was trying to help the local jurisdictions have safe elections. So I created these boxes for them, and I paid for them and gave them millions of dollars so they would be able to collect these mail-in ballots. I wasn't doing anything wrong. It was just a time where a lot of people were sick, and it was going to make it easier. That was my only intent, says Mark Zuckerberg. I made these contributions through the Zuckerberg initiative. I believe that's his wife's name. They were designed to be nonpartisan, spread across urban, rural, and suburban communities. Still, despite the analysis, I've been shown otherwise. So you gave these people millions of dollars to put stuff in suburban, rural areas so people would have access to these drop boxes. And since then, on August 26, 2024, you were now letting everybody know yesterday, that's not really what happened. They put them in the inner city and let people stuff them. You just decided to tell the world this yesterday. Why? Let's finish this. My goal is to be neutral and not play a role one way or another, or even appear to be playing a role. So I don't plan on making a similar contribution in this election. So, all the drop boxes are still in somebody's possession. They're going to go ahead and distribute them as they see fit. They're going to be all over the place. We'll see them. It's not like you went and said, you know what, you guys did wrong, and I shouldn't have done this. Can I collect all these drop boxes? Can I pick up all these mailboxes you use to stuff ballots? Can I go I'll send a couple trucks out. Just let me know where I can come get them. No, that didn't happen. The deal was, you did it. It's done. It's over with. You think we're stupid. Maybe Congress is. Because now we can see specifically what happened. At least we know one person can see specifically what happened. Zuckerberg admits that the White House pushed to suppress the Hunter Biden laptop story and much more. In other words, and I can't even today read that line. Read that next line to yourself. Because now we know for sure it's 100% true. It should piss off everybody watching this video to know it's still going on, because as of today, I cannot read that line in that Truth Social post. Can't do it. Not allowed to. And he was ticked off. He posted another one. This was in response to Alina Habba's post, and I love this. Zucker punch. The Zuckerberg admits the Biden admin pressured Facebook to censor content, says it was wrong to suppress the post-Hunter laptop coverage. The content that the Biden administration requested made a takedown, including memes, according to Facebook founder, and he said he regrets complying with the demands. Oh, now you do? Okay. And Trump, this is what everyone's been waiting for. The 2020, and you can read the rest. We now have confirmation, full confirmation. So in case you're at home keeping score with all of the conspiracy theories that have now since come true, let me drop this on you. Love this here. It says, we conspiracy theorists are undefeated. And Liz Churchill said it's a perfect record for the conspiracy theorists. Imagine, you deplorables, you thought all of these things were conspiracy theories. You were told all of these things were conspiracy theories back in 2020. And as you can see, every single one of them has been proven true. Every single one. I can't even say that, but you can see. Good morning. How you doing? How are you doing on this fine day? Knowing that you've been lied to, you've had to deal with this crap for nearly 4 years, which you knew in your heart was true. All of the conspiracy theories have now come home to roost. I'm stunned. I'm not stunned because they were true, because we all knew they were true. I'm stunned that our government, including the Republicans, seemingly were all in on it. You're telling me, with all of these three-letter agencies, we're just now finding out that everything was true, and it's only finding out that it's true because this guy wrote a letter to Congress, put it in writing, and said, yeah, we did it. Yeah, we did it. I told you 2 days ago, and I knew it was going to happen. Again, I'm going to pat myself on the back. I told you 2 days ago, go back and watch the video. It was in the open. I said, you're going to see many people that we consider to be in the elite class begin now to make some sort of recapitulation, admonition, absolution, and say, yeah, we got it wrong. We're sorry. We're sorry. Because they know what's coming. She's not going to win. And now what we're seeing is people saying it like, oh man, I got to make right before this guy gets in. Wow. because there'd be no other reason for him to come clean. He's looking at the calendar going, hey, it's August. We're not going to do this crap anymore, because I'm sure the Biden admin, I'm sure Kamala's campaign has come to him. We're not doing this anymore. We're going to be Switzerland here, and because when this guy takes over, I don't want my head on the guillotine. I got a big company here. I got shareholders. You're on your own right now. I told you that 2 days ago. That as things got closer and things got revealed that she wasn't going to win, a lot of the people who may have been forced into compliance, who were forced to say, you're going to do this or else, you're going to do this or else, are now going to back off and say that carrot and that whip that you wielded over me, I no longer fear it. I know too much at this point. See, in my estimation, what that letter was Zuckerberg telling everybody, Democrats and the Republicans, yeah, I did it. I'm not going to do it anymore. And don't dare threaten me, because I have a lot more information on you people. You see, everyone's trying to find out what's the reason. Why would Zuckerberg come clean all of a sudden? You're seeing a lot of these people. Even if you follow Robbie Starbuck on Twitter, and he's going after these companies that have these DEI practices. And one by one, they're all going, no, we're not doing this no more. Sorry, we're good. We're good. We want American dollars. Because they no longer fear the constraints of the three-letter agencies and the Democrats. And they're starting to begin to work out in the gym and flex some muscle and say, you can't do this to me anymore. Number one, this guy's coming in. And number two, if you mess with me, before you used to threaten me, now I'm turning it back on you. I've got so much crap that you guys did since 2019 against this man. I have so much. You want me to go public with all this stuff? You think a 3-page letter is all I have? That was notification. That was a soft disclosure. Don't F with me. Don't. I played ball for a while, but don't F with me. I'll tell these people where those drop boxes were. I'll tell you, I've got codes on these drop boxes. I can tell you exactly how they were moved. Don't mess with me. I can tell you the back channel stuff that you guys did, the access you took, which people's profiles you were peeking on. He has all this data. There's no possible way that the FBI or CIA or whoever else came into Facebook and did all this stuff without his coders and his engineers going, yeah, we see what they're doing. Yeah, okay, so these guys are going to win because they're going to make sure they win. We understand what they're going to do. They're going to make sure Trump's not president, so we better play ball. Now, they see what's coming down the pike. And one by one, just as I told you, you're going to see CEOs, big tech, they're going to start coming clean. They have to. Because this is terrifying to them. All bets are off. Oh, wow, RFK's with him? Tulsi Gabbard's with him? Who else is getting with him? Oh, my God. Ooh, they're going to be formidable. They're going to be strong. And this guy's coming in hot. Don't think for an instant that Trump ain't coming in hot. He's got every single reason to. And these people are terrified. Absolutely terrified. They should be. Be afraid. Be afraid not just of him. Be afraid of us. Not that we're talking violence, but we're talking don't mess with this election. Don't even think about it. And now we can do different things with our own dollars. We're going to make sure, hey, Home Depot, not Home Depot, it was Lowe's. Lowe's had a CEO. Lowe's CEO said, oh, you know what? If conservatives don't like what we're saying, they can go shop elsewhere. Conservatives said, okay, we will. Hey, Home Depot, yes. 2 days later, hey, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it that way. Because we all can talk now. And it's amazing because if that just happened on Twitter, and if Mark Zuckerberg is actually being truthful, and it can happen now on Facebook, where you can feel comfortable going, let's see here, let me try this out. Lowe's, you suck with your DEI stuff. Boom. Oh, yeah, people are liking it. Yeah, it didn't get taken down. Test it. Let's call his bluff. Let's find out if indeed they're ready to remove this nasty veil of DEI and censorship. I'd love to see if that goes away here. Oh, Katie barred the door. This is the last tower. The tower I'm sitting in right now on the basement floor with these guys here. This is the last one. If these guys pull back and say, you know what, we're not going to deal with this censorship stuff anymore. If Google/YouTube pulls back, it's over. And I don't mean over, the election's already over. I mean it's over for the entire movement of DEI and, you know, censorship and everything else, if Google releases the reins. So before I go further, let's hear what you guys have to say. Now we need the news media to tell the truth about Trump instead of all the lies that they have been telling about him. I gotta believe. Again, I told you about people say I think and stuff like that. I gotta believe in their own best interest they can't carry this too much further. I mean, she's done. I mean, absolutely toast. They don't even want to send Tim Walz out there. That was something that came out just about half hour ago. They don't want to put him out there because how are you even a candidate? If you and your vice president, if neither one of you can actually make any remarks to the public, how in the hell are you a candidate? Delete everything will come out. Yeah, I believe it's all coming out. I want receipts from Zuckerberg. I want him to release everything they did and how much he was paid for it. And what did he give them in exchange for that money? Absolutely. Truth is finding the light. Slowly but surely, it's starting to come. Lowe's CEO is a DEI hire. What is DEI? I'm in my 60s and don't watch news or on social media. So let me explain what DEI is without getting myself. Okay, let me just give you the actual definition. We'll start there. D, diversity. E, equity. I, inclusion. That's a big 3-letter word for you'll take our crap, you'll love our transformers, you'll embrace our alternative lifestyles, and you're going to like it, and you're going to promote it in your company, or else. I hope I define that okay. Nothing else matters. Merit, nope, doesn't matter. Performance, it doesn't matter. How many alternative people do you have in your workforce? How many blacks? How many Spanish? How many transformers? Because you now have quotas. You need to make all of this happen. And a lot of companies complied. They said, okay, we'll hire some transformers and we'll make sure that, you know, we've got so many newcomers and on and on and on. And now companies are ripping this apart. I'm watching daily colleges and different businesses going, nope, we just got rid of our entire DEI department. And it's happening. People realize, I think inherently, she can't win. If they thought she was going to win and this stuff was going to continue, they wouldn't be capitulating at this point and getting rid of their DEI departments. It would be going strong. But now on Twitter, people can talk, and people have been going after these companies. And let's see if it happens on Facebook. Let's see here. After Trump, what will happen to the Dems? Hopefully, they'll just go ahead and I'm just looking at someone's DEI, the deep state eating indictments, or the other one is didn't earn it. That's a great one. Didn't earn it. What will happen to the Dems? They should fold. This should be such an epic beatdown that hopefully this party goes away forever, ever. Yeah, DEI didn't earn it. That's a big one. I really do feel like they committed treason. It was, we can't say the words here yet, but well, let me just put this up, because he describes it best right there. To do what Donald Trump just described is treasonous. You colluded to do everything you possibly could to foist Dementia Joe upon us. And now look where we are now. Look where we are now. It's just absolutely disgusting. So yeah, Zuckerberg is trying to let people know he has more. I thought that too. So what? I think he collects data and profiling adults for CCP China more than TikTok for kids. Yeah, all of these networks have so much data. I used to tell people how I was running Facebook ads. And those of you who don't know how Facebook ads work, remember back in 2016, Trump was able to beat Hillary because he had a guy, Brad Parscale, who mastered Facebook ads. And I would have seminars and I would teach people about how to do Facebook ads. And people would come in and be in there. And I'm like, I can tell you down to the street you live on, how many people on that street used a credit card in the last 7 days. And people were like, what? Yeah. I could run an ad and say, put this ad that I would construct in front of everyone on Mulberry Street who has used a credit card in the last 7 days, who has bought something at Home Depot, and has watched the NFL. That laser targeted. I could then say, run an ad that I would create to everyone in this zip code who has visited MSNBC in the last 7 days, but who has not visited Fox News. What kind of person do you think that would give me? Because if I'm saying they've watched MSNBC, but they have not watched Fox News, pretty much that was going to give me a Democrat viewer. And I could run counter ads if I was doing that kind of stuff. But I'll take it even deeper in terms of like a consumer product that you want to sell. Let's say you want to sell Pop-Tarts. I would say, show me any household with a woman 35 to 55 who has children, who's visited Toys R Us, and I could just drill down and figure who likes Nickelodeon. Boom, I would have my demographic. And well, Barry, but you couldn't target, one of the things you couldn't target, race. You think not? Show me everyone in this zip code, on this street, who watches BET, who likes Kentucky Fried Chicken, who subscribes or views Jet Magazine. But you can't target race. Okay, I didn't. I didn't try to target anybody's race. I just said who eats Kentucky Fried Chicken, who eats Church's Chicken, who watches BET, who likes Ricky Smiley, who listens to Charlemagne the God, and lives in this area. Yeah, it was that in depth. So there is so much data. And people used to pay me a lot of money to say, how did you hit these people? How did you know how to target those people? It was easy. I had all what you see on Facebook. If you go on Facebook, I always had this picture, one of my slides behind me, when I was talking to people about the data I had. And I would have a picture behind me on a slide, and it would show an iceberg. And then I would show the water level. And then the water level would be, here's what you look at on Facebook. And then below would be a huge mountain of ice. And I'm like, here's what I'm looking at on Facebook. And so, yes, Mark Zuckerberg has so much data that he was trading and giving to everybody. And these guys here have it as well. When I say these guys, Google, YouTube. And I'm sure as Elon Musk is improving things there, he's going to have a lot of targeting options as well. We're in a post-privacy world. There is no such thing as privacy. When people think, I can't give my name here. Well, have you ever gone to a doctor and did that whole thing with colon check or whatever, and you pooped in the box? Do you know what you're giving them? You weren't giving them poop. You were giving them your DNA. Hey, I'm going to go on Ancestry, and I'm going to check, this is going to be fun. I'm going to find out who my old relatives were and where I came from. Yeah. Forget your privacy. By the way, Ancestry.com just had a big breach. And I think they were bought by a company called, BlackRock. Or was it Vanguard? But one of those. Data. And I used to say in my seminars, he who has the data runs the world. Data is the new currency. And so in regards, bringing it back to Facebook, there's no wonder why the FBI went to Zuckerberg and said, we need you to do this, we need you to do that. That's just what they're admitting to. There's no telling. Can you flip the switch here and get me this? Do me a favor. Can you do me a favor and run a report showing me how many people in area code 205, wherever that is, watch Fox News and Tucker Carlson back then when he was on Fox News, and Sean Hannity. Can you run that list for me? But they don't ever watch MSNBC. Who's going to be on that list? Well, Barry, they don't have your exact name. Oh, really? They may not give me those customers' names, but they have the names that match those profiles. You bet your sweet bippy they do. So when they did this stuff to Trump and all Trump supporters and basically made us persona non grata, they also had all of our data. So that's how bad it goes. So is the story of the hack of all the Social Security numbers and all Americans a real thing, or was it a fake news story to cause fear and drive people to the government for their help? If that story is true, then they're saying that somebody somewhere has all of your information. If somebody somewhere has all of your information, somebody's somewhere have all your information. That information has no value unless you can sell it. There are many times I've had huge mailing list. I used to work for an advertising agency, huge mailing list. Did you know, this may scare you, I could take an email list from Joe's Pizza, because I'm not going to mention a company. And Joe's Pizza has been involved in business for 10 years, so they got 1 million email addresses. And I could take those email addresses and I could upload them to Facebook. And Facebook was, he's here, she's here, they're here, nope, he's not here. And all of a sudden I would have that exact same people that I've sold to before, their email, I could put it in Facebook and sell them something else. Hey, I know they like pizza. So if they like pizza, then I don't want to send them diet stuff, but maybe I could send them, I sell it to a candy manufacturer. And a candy manufacturer says, you got 1 million people who eat pizza? Yeah. All right. Let's go with that. I'll give you this money. Don't get me started. My only point with all this, I kind of digressed. And my only point with all of this is there is much more below the surface that Mark Zuckerberg's not telling people, that people in the know go, yeah, we know what you did. If Jim Jordan's not smart enough to know that, Trump's got people who are smart enough to know you sold all that data, you compiled it, you gave it to the 3-letter agencies, you may have given it to the WEF, you may have given it to the WHO. Oh, that's another angle. How many people in this zip code have visited, a doctor in the last 30 days and then CVS or Walgreens? Oh, because that would now mean that this person may have some sort of sickness and they're going to CVS for a pharmacy. Oh, can I get CVS's data because now I can see what they're taking? So now if I was evil and I wanted to concoct something and I have all this data and I know who it's going to affect. Absolutely, in my mind, it was treason. And nothing that I just said to you is implausible. Nothing that I just said to you is far-fetched. I've done it. I have actually used that kind of data to sell consumer products, but I can do whatever I want with that data now that I have it. But I don't use it anymore. I never did the DNA stuff on Ancestry because I knew it was going to be used by police, etc. My data has been compromised by it's all over the place. There is no such thing. We are in a post privacy world. It's insane. by using their platform to mark the patriots, we're going to have to figure out a way to get together and communicate without these social pages. Doesn't matter at this point. They already have your data. Now if they're coming clean, you know, if they are waving, in essence, the white flag on 2024, doesn't mean they're not basically compiling the orcs for 2028. Maybe they just realized Dementia Joe wasn't it. This woman is gone. We're not going to be able to do much now. Now we just have to figure out how to play nice for a little while until we can figure out if Gavin Newsom's going to run in 2028 against Ron DeSantis. And then they're going to come right back and do the same shit all over again. Mark my words. It's going to happen. 2 Chronicles 2017. You will not have to fight this battle. Take up your position, stand firm, and see the deliverance the Lord will give you. Thank you. Pay cash for everything and shop in person. It's very hard to, you know. Yeah, exactly. I have a Facebook account and I can't even access it to delete it. That's the thing that just drives me nuts. So you booted me off. I can't access it. But all the content that I put up there, you're keeping, because somewhere in that little terms and services says, terms and conditions says, yeah, we get to keep everything you do. It's ours now. So you're running ads on my content and making money, and I can't even delete the content anymore. So it's crazy. Somebody asked me a question. Where was that? Your car gives the government data every day. Yep, wherever you drive, it doesn't matter whether you approved it or not, unless you go into the system and turn it off. And I'll give you guys one quick thing, and we'll move on here. You ever start talking about something? You're in a room watching television. You're like, honey, you know, I'd like to get a new sweater. You know, if I got a new sweater, because sometimes I'm watching TV here in South Florida, the air conditioning get cool in the evening. I think I want to get a new sweater. Let me see what's going on Twitter. Oh, there's an ad for a sweater. How did my phone know I was thinking about a sweater? They call them smart TVs for a reason. Just saying. All right, so let's continue. As this thing broke, what we got here, people started commenting on it. And so I'm going to show you some of the stuff that these people have been saying as this story broke further and further down the line. Kim.com, who was a big internet guy who got basically rung through the mill, he didn't get deported, but I think there still may be a warrant out for him in the United States. But in any event, this guy is a coder extraordinaire hacker. A letter from Zuckerberg. Mark betrayed his users and is now blaming Biden. Mark knew exactly what he was doing. He and his wife donated $400 million to assist the United States election offices in setting up their mail-in ballot system that was used to manipulate that thing. Excuse me. True. $400 million to put all these ballot box things out there. He knew exactly what he was doing. He was doing exactly what he was told. Mark Geiger, who's a venture capitalist. Simply imagine if Zuckerberg had confessed that the Trump White House pressured his company to censor things they didn't like, and then Trump had the FBI falsely claim a laptop they knew real was fake to help him win the election, it would be Watergate and impeachment. Ain't that the truth? If that story was attached to Trump, and we all found out today that Trump manipulated Facebook to go after Dementia Joe, they would have done anything. And now we're finding out that the news doesn't even want to talk about this. We don't bring this up. It's old stuff. Stop looking back. You know what Kamala's big catchphrase is? We're never going back. Of course not. You don't want to go back, because if people start looking back, they're going to see all the trail of crap that you left. So of course you don't want to go back. Now I loved, and I'm going to be digging to figure out why, but Greta Van Susteren, a lawyer who used to be on Fox, she was all over this like a pit bull. I mean, she just jumped all over it. And she said, okay, Zuckerberg must name the person and stop the cover-up. He didn't name the person. So what she's talking about is, so you come clean in this letter, but you didn't say anything. You didn't tell us who. Who are these people? Was it James Comey? Was it Christopher Wray? Who was it that came to you? These people. I mean, it wasn't a ghost. It wasn't a bot. Somebody came to you and said, we need you to do this, this, and this. Why are you not naming those people? They need to be named. That's part of the information that I'm talking about when I said he's got a lot more. And his letter was basically, in my estimation, him firing a shot and letting people know, you know that I know. You know that I know it was you. Jim Jordan, these guys haven't asked this question yet. You got people like Greta Van Susteren out here on the internet going, who are these people? Who are these people that came to you? Who were the Judas that came to you and tapped you on the shoulder and said, we need you to make sure this goes away? Because he knows who that is, who they were. It's probably more than one person who came to visit you and said, we need you to do this. This wasn't over the phone. Hope you understand that. Subsequent meetings may have done over the phone or Zoom or whatever. But the first time it happened, some guys showed up in the black SUVs or ladies in those black SUVs, and they showed up and said, we're from here. Okay, we're here to see Mark Zuckerberg. Who were those people that came to you? Who delivered Trump to you? You didn't mention that, and that's exactly what Greta's saying. Name the people. Why do we not know, and why are you withholding that? Your letter didn't say, hey, listen, well, James Comey came to see me. The FBI didn't come to see you. This building didn't come. Who came to see you and gave you that order? That's the information that I'm thinking, and I really do believe that he's letting whoever know in this soft disclosure, don't F with me, I got these names. I can come clean, and I'm not scared of you anymore. I got a dead man switch. I'm ready to, if something happens to me, this information is going to come out. And Greta says this. Yes, obviously he has regrets, but he didn't volunteer to express his regrets. He was getting exposed. He was trying to throw a lifeline, in essence of what she said. This is outrageous, and among other things, Facebook and Zuckerberg owe the New York Post and Miranda Devine and the American people a huge apology about the laptop. They told an American newspaper that you cannot post this information on our platform because we've been told by somebody in one of these three-letter agencies or a couple three-letter agencies, don't post this. What do I tell people? Tell them it was, from the Ruskies. Oh, it's this. We're just going to label it all. Yeah, because I don't think that was the plan. I think somebody went and said, this is going to kill Dementia Joe's campaign. We need you to suppress this, make sure it doesn't see the light of day. Well, how am I going to do that? What excuse? We're going to tell them the Ruskies did it. Oh, okay. Now I've got some plausible deniability. Look up plausible deniability if you don't know it. So Greta continued, and I love this one. I'm thinking of it. I really don't like that Zuckerberg hid this from the American people, and now he won't even name names as to who in the government is censoring. Maybe it's finally time for people to leave Facebook and Instagram. Been saying that. This was the coup. This was the treason. And here it is 4 years later, and we're starting to see the breadcrumbs come out, and people are starting to see what happened. You're starting to see what happened. Many of you already knew, which means at this point, do I still have that one? No, I think okay. Let me just ask you something. If all of these things have been found to be true or have truth involved in them, especially those, who's being protected? because everything is becoming true. It's all being revealed. And we've got a woman sitting in jail who was arrested for something that the people who actually committed a crime, no one's ever been charged. Not a single person. We haven't seen a list. We haven't seen anything. Oh, she's in jail. The other guy's dead. But we don't know anything. Why is that? It's almost as bad as the Kennedy situation. We can't tell you who's on that list. What do you mean? How can you be arrested for procurement when you don't tell us who the people who were that were procuring? It's a two-sided crime. If you go down to Main Street and you decide you're going to offer somebody $20 for a good time, she, in certain states, is committing a crime because that may not be legal. It's legal in Vegas. But you're committing the crime because you're doing the procuring. And they went after the person who gave them the phone number. Hey, listen, there's someone on the corner of 5th and Main, and she'll give you a hookup. Okay. She got arrested. The guys never got arrested. Never were named. It's like, how could that even be possible? Shh, don't mention it. Don't talk about it. Let's go ahead and tear down the mansion on the island. Let's forget it ever happened. Just like with JFK. We'll let you know in 60 years or so. And even then, no, we're not ready yet. And now you have. Start putting all this stuff together. I don't mean to sound like Alex Jones, but start putting these things that you know for sure together. And you got a guy, the Orange Man, coming in January who says, yeah, it's time. And you got RFK Jr. who's like, yeah, it's time for that too. Whew. What about this? Oh, yeah, we're going to give away, let everybody know about that too. What happens in January of 2025 when Trump gets in there on day one? We've heard, you guys need to know this, you need to know this, you need to know this. Here are the people, here are the... That would make me, if I was Mark Zuckerberg, want to wash my hands of all of this stuff. I don't want to be involved. I'm sorry. I did it. I was doing some stuff that they told me to do. They said they were going to do this to me and do this to my wife and, do this to my business. And I was terrified and I just did it, man. Now, I love Trump. Don't hurt me. Don't destroy my business. And I said it the other day. You're going to see a lot more of these people come up and go fall on the sword. I was doing, unfortunately, what I was told. We heard that back in the 40s. I was just doing what I was told. I was following orders. Doesn't make it any less of a crime, but we still need to know who's back there. Who were you following orders from? Who gave the order? We need to know. And that's what Greta's saying in her tweets. We need to know who these people are who gave the order at this point. Patrick Bet-David, who says, Mark Zuckerberg just admitted to working with Biden-Harris admin to censor Americans. He's either admitted to this because A, he's being honorable. Wrong answer. If you were honorable, you wouldn't have done it. B, he's done with the Democrat Party partially. And C, he's getting ahead of a whistleblower, or he may be the whistleblower. In any event, we're starting to see things basically crumble around the Democrats, which makes them dangerous. Understand, it makes them very dangerous because, oh my gosh, it's all falling apart. And I don't know who wants to have the last chair when the music stops, but I think that's what we're about to see. We're about to see people trying to make sure they get a chair before the music stops. If you guys hadn't played musical chairs as a kid, you know what I'm talking about. So all of that kind of stuff can happen. Attorney General Andrew Bailey, who is from, I believe, Missouri. Yep. He goes, he regrets it because our lawsuit exposed it. He got caught red-handed. So Andrew Bailey and Missouri have been suing some of these social networks, and it's taken this long for this stuff to come to fruition. And everybody knows at this point, it's all coming out. You used every delay tactic. You avoided subpoenas. You appealed to this person and appealed to that court, and you did this, and now it's the end of the road, man. It's you're a dead man walking. You're walking that green mile. Now you are in a position where there's nothing else you can do except come clean. Save yourself at this point. And that's what we're going to be seeing with a lot of these people. You look for the term soft disclosure. You're gonna see people starting to drop this information as things move forward. The more she self-destructs, the more it looks like it's gonna be Trump. You're gonna start seeing it accelerate. Those were the exact same words I said a couple of days ago. You're going to see it. It's gonna happen. People are like, I had no choice. It was the friggin' 3-letter agencies. What was I supposed to do? It's coming. It's absolutely coming. Peter Schiff, a big investor, he says, not only does Zuckerberg's admission prove that the Biden administration illegally censored free speech, but it also shows that they interfered with the 2020 election. This proves Trump was right all along. But before this interference, Trump likely would have won. And our media is staying quiet. All this is beginning to happen. It's a lot deeper than just a tweet or just a story or a blip on the news. I'm telling you, there are people in boardrooms across the country, across the world, who are shaking in their drawers right now. They're going to start making moves that are scary. That's why that guy from Telegram's sitting in a jail over in France. They're freaking out. It's absolutely crumbling in front of them. Of course, like I said, be careful, stay frosty, because these people are going to get nervous. Dementia Joe's completely checked out. He's in a beach this week in Delaware. He was at a beach last week in California. He's got his parachute, and he's like, okay, I'll stay quiet. Pardon Hunter, make sure he's okay. But other than that, I'll stay out of your way. Don't know who's running things, but these people who are running things right now are freaking out. I saw a post by Alexander Vindman who basically threatened Elon Musk at this point. They're terrified, absolutely terrified at what's going on. I mean, it's getting to be kind of comical watching these people squirm. These people who we thought were big titans of industry, big titans of politics, and they're squirming. Zuckerberg has access to real-time global human sentiment machine. Under what he means. So when you're talking in a video, if I'm smiling and I'm talking about knitting and birds, that's my sentiment, and it can detect that. If I'm angry, it can detect that. If you think he's coming clean about Kamala and company and what they've been doing just for the sake of doing the right thing, you aren't paying attention. He knows what's coming. Now you know what's coming. You put all the pieces together and start looking at things from a completely different perspective. Do your research, start looking at things, understand how people are talking right now, and how it's looking very, very bad for these people. Cat Turd again is one of my favorite ones. I committed election fraud, treason, and got people killed by lying about that. Whoops, my bad. That's not going to cut it. This weasel should be in a jail cell. And it says Zuckerberg admits Biden admin pressured Facebook to censor content, saying it was wrong to suppress, and he suppressed the Hunter laptop coverage. Yes, he deserves to be in jail, as well as the people that his cohorts. How does Dementia Joe, other than the fact that he's demented right now and only has a few months left, people are like, well, impeach him. Why bother? Why bother spending my money and your money on some long, drawn-out hearing at this point to a guy who's probably not going to be with us much longer anyway? So that ain't going to happen. Not going to be any impeachment. However, the younger ones who are in good shape, who are involved with all this, yeah, they need to take them down hard. Hard. And like he said, it's coming. It's definitely coming. They can't stop it. We've been saying it for years. Now it's actually there. You can't stop what's coming. They've tried everything. A couple of weeks, they're going to try and sentence Trump, see if they can't probably put him away. Too late now. Jack Smith runs back into the appellate court trying to revive that lawsuit. Good luck. You can't stop what's coming. The people are waking up. I do these videos to help you wake up, to help you see what is happening out there. Because usually they're just a blip. They just, oh, so Zuckerberg did that. Yeah, okay. Oh, the low CEO here. Oh, the university president. Oh, this keeps, oh. Just keeps happening. And it's going to, as I've been saying, accelerate. So Zuckerberg came out and admitted that the Biden-Harris regime, and don't ever not attach her anymore. We have to make sure it's not Biden. It is the Biden-Harris regime. She was absolutely involved. We're engaged in the unconstitutional policing of free speech on private platforms. This is also known as fascism. The Dems are who they claim to fight. All they do is project. Their accusations are actually confessions. This should, along with other things that she has done, this should disqualify her. This should be the end of her campaign. If there was anything that we're looking at, this should be it. But remember, as Kim.com posted again, the deep state is cornered now. Nothing is going as planned. Nothing. They've lost narrative control. They failed to take Trump out. Harris has no chance. Expect the worst. You know, a lot of people say, you're a doomsayer and you're a fearmonger. Not with these people. They're watching their power corrode around them. It's going away. Pff, gone. In a couple months. They can't, they're trying to hold, like nails on a blackboard, and they're just sliding because there's nothing they can, nothing. Realize, other than taking another shot at him, there is nothing they can do. She can't do it. It's going to be very hard executing the cheat. I'm sure part of what Zuckerberg said, he's going to give them all the information on these mailboxes. Let people know where they are, how to get to them. I'm sure they all have a barcode or something where they can see. There's nothing they can do. We're seeing them, different states, erase the dead and ineligible off the voting rolls. One by one, the dominoes are falling. And all they can do is sit up and lie in a poll and say, well, she's ahead or something. When everyone knows, no, this ghost is not ahead of Donald Trump. This ghost who doesn't know what to say on a stage unless it's printed on a teleprompter, she's not ahead of Donald Trump. She can't draw flies if it's not a band playing. She's hid, gone away, who knows where, since the Democrat National Convention ended. Nobody knows. Haven't seen her. They're going to go on some bus tour in Philadelphia or whatever, throughout Pennsylvania. Good luck with that. She's going to stop at Wawa's or something. I don't know. But it's over. Which means, at this point, expect the worst. I don't know what that worst could be. I don't know if we all wake up one day and there is no internet. I don't know if we all wake up one day and there's no power. I don't know if we wake up one day and there's no more gas. Expect the worst. Plan for it. Start prepping. Start doing whatever you can do. Make sure that you've got supplies, water. Do something, because I don't trust these people. Don't trust them at all. Not at all. Thank you, Barry. Finally, the truth is being told. Yeah, you got to look for it too, because they're hiding it. Learned a long time ago. The guilty ones squeal first. Absolutely. Mark knows that Trump is going to win, and he doesn't want to be on the wrong side of history. Absolutely. Barry, did you know that VT, Vermont, has allowed illegals to vote, or newcomers to vote already? No, I did not know that. Somebody said, I believe she's in Georgia today, which makes no sense whatsoever. Yeah, I heard that she was going to Georgia. I'm like, you don't have a shot in HEE hockey sticks. You're not going to win Georgia. No matter what you can do in Fulton County, it ain't going to happen this time. Somebody wrote here, credit cards will be frozen. Yeah, imagine that, putting your ATM and oh, sorry, the PIN number is not correct. What do you mean? Be very careful. Governor Abbott just imagine that. Governor Abbott just removed 1 million people off the voter rolls in Texas. 1 million. They can't win. And I said a couple days ago, and I'll try to do a polling show in North Carolina while I'm up there. But there is no means. It's down to 3 states. She's going to have to take Wisconsin. She's going to have to take Michigan. And she's going to have to take Pennsylvania. At this point, it even looks like Virginia may go to Trump. Glenn Youngkin took 80,000 dead people off the voting rolls. 80,000. And so the walls are closing in. Not theoretically, really closing in on these people. These CNN reporters, MSN, have got to know their days in journalism are coming to an end. Yeah, because it's not journalism. It's crap. It's absolute propaganda. That's what they're looking at. Thank God for Texas. She's going back to Georgia for another twerk fest. Big Timmy, what's he going to do there? Any horses? Any equestrian stuff going on there? False flags incoming. Yeah, unfortunately, that may be indeed what we're going to see. False flags. Sherrod Brown is working hard to give the newbies voting rights. That's all they can do. But at this point, so many people are pissed off. I don't think they can get enough of them to the polls that can overcome all this stuff. So let me continue here because I got to get on the road again, heading up to North Carolina. And let's see, where was I? All right, so let me just segue into something else that happened this morning. Now you got all this stuff about Facebook. And when I keep saying this woman is a fake candidate, there is nothing there. She's hollow. It's empty. Big story broke this morning. Huge story broke, as Donald would say. Huge. So you know that Kamala Harris came out and said that she wanted to do price fixing on groceries. And then when she saw the uproar, supposedly, because we haven't heard her say anything, we're pushing back on this. We're basically gonna, step back. We're gonna walk this back. Maybe not do price control, but we're gonna do no tax on tips. But that's Trump stuff. No tax on tips. What are you talking about? Oh yeah, we're gonna do no tax on tips. Well, she's come out with another stolen valor election thing. I wrote, ask me how I know Kamala Harris is getting trounced. If she's elected president, Kamala Harris pledges to spend hundreds of millions of dollars on the wall along the southern border, a project she once opposed and called un-American during the Trump administration. Yeah, you read that correctly. You read that 100% correctly. This is from Axios, and it says Harris flip-flops on building the border wall. It's all over the place. You can find it. I just brought it up here at the end because I wanted to punctuate what we've been talking about. We have a woman here who's got no thoughts of her own. There's nothing she can do. She's floating ideas, putting her finger up to see how people react to it. She's stealing his ideas, going completely against the squad and saying, I want to build a border wall now. She's flailing. You're looking seriously at a wounded animal now who has got video after video after video calling walls inhuman. There's no such thing as a newcomer being illegal, and we cannot possibly be putting up walls. And today on August 27th, she decides she wants to build a wall. I don't know what she's doing. I don't think she knows what she's doing. We don't know because she's not saying anything. But now she wants to build a wall. There's no way this woman is winning. I'm telling you, I may be sticking my head out way too far. I may be saying some things that people are going to post. Hey, Barry, you said it was going to be a landslide. She won. Yeah, that could be it. I could be wrong. I could be proven wrong. And this time in January, or actually on November 6th, you're going to be going, Barry, what are you talking about? Highly doubt that's going to happen. She's a chameleon. She is Kamala Chameleon. She'll do anything, say anything. Watch what happens in the polls here. I'll say it more. Project 2025, he wants to ban baby. Their entire candidacy from the day she was anointed has been based on fraud. Nobody voted for her. They forced Biden to step aside. She just walked in. The media's been basically bootlicking. There's nothing real about what you're seeing with her. I would feel completely different if I was looking at a viable candidate. I think Dementia Joe had a better shot of beating Trump than she does, even with his dementia. Her, everything is fake. There's nothing real about it. The only thing real about her is her ambition. She wants this really bad. Other than that, every single platform is a lie. If you believed in what you were saying, just do it. Hey, listen, I'm going to raise taxes to 70%. Deal with it. I'm going to, basically put price fixing on food. Deal with it. But she's not doing that. When you're compromising your principles and your ideals, that tells me you're a fraud. That tells me you're a fraud if it's someone I know personally. Hey, man, you didn't used to be like this. What happened? This isn't you. Well, I decided this is how I'm going to be. All right, well, let me see if I can deal with it. Oh, now I'm this person. She's just changing every other day. And people at this point are going to find out. She ain't getting it. No, she's not. Lizard woman. She's a chameleon. Check out the Dow. I didn't see what's going on being on here. Kamala is insane. Honestly, I hope to God you're right, Barry. My biggest thing, and I'm going to leave you guys with this because I got to get on the road. I just heard my wife grabbing the suitcase. My biggest thing, and I'll leave you guys with this, and I'm going to try and do my polling data show on Friday on the road. But I just want you guys to see this because this is what's been going on, and I'm looking to see if it's changed yet. All right. Okay, let's see what happens here. If I can pull this up. This is the election polling data. And boom. Okay. We have the Morning Consult, which came out with something yesterday showing Harris up by 4. Until I start seeing these dates update where they're not way old, that's telling me something. And then I don't really care about a general election. I keep clicking in here. Arizona, it's done. I'll show it to you again. Nevada, it's done. Take it off. Wisconsin shows her 1 point lead, but we haven't had a new poll since Rasmussen's on August 19th. I could do this every single day. And even then, that's head to head. That has not, as of yet, incorporated the Kennedy numbers. So I could do this for hours. And the thing I'm trying to let you guys know at this point is, why are these people who only have one job? You only got one job. Kennedy announced last week. You have data centers. You have employees. You have all this stuff. Why haven't you people gone in and done the math and see how things have done with Kennedy now being in the race? Why are you ignoring the stuff with the black voters? We're seeing black voters all over the place jumping ship. Seeing it constantly. Why are you not doing anything about it and not showing any of the stuff to us as to what's going on? Because it's a lie. It's an absolute lie. I'm going to jump. I got to get on an airplane. Hope to see you guys in the next day or so on my next live. But before I go, as I always do, let me go ahead and talk to you guys and say thank you to a few people. Sharon Kelly, for nothing is secret that shall not be made manifest, neither anything hid that shall not be known and come abroad. Luke 8:17. Barry's amazing for Mike McCarthy. Zuck and all his cronies are traitors, and all should be tried for this and thrown away the key. This includes comma and the buy man. Ari Stacy, got your popcorn, more will come out. Ryan, need to worry about Agenda 30 instead of Project 25. Patrick Deaver, these people have gone totally against the Constitution. Absolutely. Thank you. Sharon Kelly, Mark of Reality, the entire news media staff in front and behind the camera needs to be replaced and some be put in jail. I could agree with that. Severo Floros, never had Facebook, never will. Good man. CR, thank you. Lisa Bell, Keith Olson, Lauren Ipsum, thank you. Mark Poyne, bury the fact that you cannot say certain words on YouTube mean that we are still being controlled and monitored by the greater media. 100% true. The day I can say something without having fear of retribution, then we know we're there. It's not there right now. Just another knucklehead, thank you. And Robert Cooper, thank you as well. All right, everybody, I'm getting on a plane. Talk to you guys tomorrow. I may put up a recorded video later. So if you see something else pop up, that just means I'm gonna do something. Maybe I'll record something on the plane and post it. And by the way, I'm going to start a members only area on this channel where I can do quick videos if I'm in a car or walking around or anything like that. So watch the news, but decipher the news. Don't take what they say for granted. Dig deeper. Understand what's going on. There's a lot going on right now. Thanks for tuning in. I'm on a plane. I'm going to get on a plane. Talk to you soon.